What is up, everybody? Welcome back to RacingDudes.com. Welcome back to another one of our previews. Let's go to Santa Anita. This will be Sunday, December 28th. It'll not be the day after Christmas this year. Heavy rains caused them to move the card back 2 days, but we'll still get Santa Anita this weekend, just Sunday, December 28th. We're talking about the last big race of the year, the Grade 1 Malibu Stakes here, live from Santa Anita. Race 10 on the card. I'll put it up on the screen for you now. 7 furlongs for the 3-year-olds. Field of 10. Bob Baffert's got 5 in the race. That's right. Bob Baffert has 5, and figuring out his 5 horses and what's going to happen is the key to this race. He has 5 interesting ones. Let's go through them one by one and take our best guess, because that's basically what you're going to have to do in this one. Let's talk about a non-Bob Baffert horse, a couple of them to get us going. Number 1, Modus Bestia will be the horse that kicks us off here, and took a while for this horse to get going. 5 straight races where he didn't show much at all, let's be honest. And then for whatever reason, in the 6th race of his career, he wakes up in a big way. Gate to wire win and a maiden special weight at Del Mar by 3 lengths. Receives a 99 Beyer speed figure for that effort. 21 points higher than anything he had ever received before. So he, like I said, he woke up in a big way. Backed that up with a 92 Beyer speed figure last time out at Del Mar, an allowance optional claimer, winning by a length and a quarter. Nice horse. I don't know if he's ready for this. I think he's a big-time pace presence in this thing. I don't know if he's ready for this competition yet. I'm going to take a pass on him here, but I've got my eye on him because he really has jumped up and ran well lately. Number 2 is Spinard, a horse that I don't see much of a shot here for this horse. 10 starts, only 2 wins. Last time out at Zia Park, an allowance optional claimer beating our 3rd, beaten 5 lengths. 7th in the Zia Park Derby, did win an allowance optional claimer 3 races back at Prairie Meadows, but I don't think that's going to translate well here. Longest shot on the board probably for me. No interest whatsoever. All right, let's start the puzzle, and I think this is the one you can count on the most as far as we kind of know what he's going to do, and that is the number 3 Madaket Road. This is a horse that is very classy, but he has just 1 win in 8 starts. He's hit the board, though, in 6 of those 8 starts. He's a classy horse. He's been up against, really good horses. He ran very well in the Woody Stevens to run 2nd. He ran 5th in the Allen Jerkins, but that wasn't that bad of a race. 2nd in the Pat Day Mile, 4th in the Florida Derby, 2nd in the Rebel, 3rd in the Robert B. Lewis. That's just who he is at this point. Madaket Road. He's a horse that can hit the board. I just don't think it's much else. I would key maybe in the 3rd spot, maybe some in the 2nd spot. I just don't consider him a serious win contender in this one. Irad Ortiz Jr. will be riding here. He did ride him 3 races back in the Pat Day Mile. He rode him 5 races back in the Rebel Stakes as well. I think he'll make it interesting. Maybe this is the day. He kind of deserves it. He's been running against really tough horses. I think this is another 2nd, 3rd, 4th place effort for Madaket Road. All right, let's take a break from the Bafferts and go to the number 4 Speedy Wilson, a Calbred here who's coming off a win last time out against Open Company at Del Mar by a length and a half. 4 wins and 8 starts. 3 of those were against Calbreds. Had another couple of Open Company races, one at Del Mar, didn't run very well at all, and then one over the turf at Santa Anita, and got 4th in that one. This looks outclassed to me. Another one I just kind of, you want to make a case for somebody other than Baffert here. I haven't found one yet as we go through it, and kind of spoiler alert, I don't see one on this car or on this, in this race that's going to be able to beat at least 1 or 2 of these Baffert runners. Back to the Baffert horses. Number 5, Midland Money is next. Yeah, this horse is interesting. He broke the maiden in a very impressive fashion, on debut at Santa Anita, then went up to Saratoga and won an allowance race really impressively. Again, just blazing, gets 100 Beyer speed figure there. Enters him in the Grade 1 Allen Jerkins too much too soon. Tried to set the pace. That was a really tough race. Got beat 7 lengths, finishing 6th. All good. I didn't hold that against him. Here's where I have the problem. Came back to Santa Anita in a race. To me, you got to win. Got 2nd, beating the neck. Came back in another race at Del Mar. Another one I thought, you got to win here. Got 2nd, beating a length and a quarter. I think he's pace presence, but I think there's a lot of pace presence in here. I think he's setting it up for one of the other Bafferts in here. I'm against Midland money in this spot. So go ahead and put him into the winner's circle. Number 6, another Calbred Berlin Wall, a horse that's only raced against Open Company once in his 5-race career. Got second in allowance optional claimer 3 races back. 2 races back, second in a state bred optional claimer. The last time out dominated at Del Mar in a state bred optional claimer. Not for me in this spot. Pretty nice little Calbred, just in a tough spot here for sure. Then another, if I could speak, the number 7 is Smooth Cruisin'. Another horse, not too bad, just not one that I can really back in this spot here. 2 wins out of 8 starts. One was a maiden special weight right here at Santa Anita. Another one was an allowance optional claimer. Tried graded stakes company a few times here. Just hasn't been able to get the job done. Again, not for me in this spot. That leaves us with 3 more Baffert horses, perhaps the most interesting of the 3. I say that because, like I said, we kind of know what you're going to get out of Matticat Road. He's kind of a measuring stick. He's going to run second, third, fourth a lot. I kind of know what I think I'm going to get out of Midland money. Go straight to the lead and see if you can take him gate to wire. What are we going to get out of these 3 horses that we're going to talk about? That's probably going to tell the tale of the race. Let's start with the number 8, Cornucopian. Yes, that Cornucopian, who debuted at Oaklawn Park back in February of 2025 with a 5 3/4 length impressive victory. So impressive that he was a 4-5 favorite off of 1 race going 6 furlongs at Oaklawn to win the 1 1/8 Arkansas Derby. That did not happen. He got into one of the biggest pace duels you'll ever see. He fades to 4th, beaten 8.5. Sandman beat him that day. Publisher beat him that day. Cold Battle beat him that day. None of those horses have come back to win a race. Publisher is still a maiden and recently lost a maiden. Sandman hasn't run a step since the Arkansas Derby. Cold Battle, he got injured. We haven't seen him in a while. He didn't run too bad in the Indiana Derby, but still no wins. So it's a damning loss with each day that passes, right? And even a more damning loss. Goes up to Aqueduct and runs an allowance optional claimer, a weird spot. Everybody thought, well, this is really weird. April 27th. They're prepping for the Preakness is kind of how they spun that. He gets second in I think it was like a 3-horse race. By the time the scratch was over, he gets second, beaten a 3 1/4 by Garamond, who has never come back to win a race. I believe he may have got injured as well. But anyway, the horses that beat him really didn't do much. So I don't know what to make of him. He was super impressive without any doubt in that debut at Oaklawn. He just wasn't very good in the next 2 races. Flavian Pratt gets aboard. This is a very good sign. He's working pretty well. Baffert wouldn't throw him in this race, if he didn't think he was going to be pretty good. $1.1 million purchase. I am not going to pick him to win. I'm very interested to see what he does. I don't know. There's just not enough there for me with Cornucopian, but it's nice seeing him back. We'll see what happens with him. All right, the number 9, Barnes. You never know what you're going to get out of him race after race. Let's just tell the tale. He was one of those horses that weirdly went over to Churchill Downs in November and won for Bob Baffert. That was November of last year. You don't see that very often. Went to the San Vicente and I thought ran very well. Got the job done there by 5.5. He checked the box, right? Then he ran in the San Felipe and he got second, beating a length and 3/4. He looked to get pretty tired, but journalism beat him. And no big deal there. So 3 pretty good races. All kinds of rumors after that. He wasn't training well. He was missing some spots that you thought they were going to run. They throw him in the Santa Anita Derby, and he was just horrifically bad. He tried to box in journalism, and it was just like, really? He's a $3.2 million horse, and you throw him in this race, and he's not ready to run. There were all kinds of rumors he wasn't ready to run. He didn't run a step. What are you doing? I thought that was just listen, he's a Hall of Fame trainer, and who am I? But I just thought that was stupid to run him in that race after all the buzz, and it looked it. So, but look, he came back. He off of a layoff from April to August 23rd. He runs in the Allen Jerkins, which was a loaded race. I thought he ran a special race in here. That kind of layoff, I thought he was fantastic. He did get beat by 1.5 lengths, but he got beat by Patch Adams, who I think would be a heavy favorite in this race, and Captain Cook, who ran his eyeballs out that day. I thought he was great. I thought he would absolutely roll in the Gallant Bob next time out at Parks. I don't know what that was. He's a horse that likes to get toward the front. He's 10th. He's 13 lengths behind. I thought they pulled him up at one time. He's off the screen. He did run down the stretch. Now, a lot of those horses were stopping in front of him. He ends up getting fourth, beating 3 3/4, but he ran. I mean, he ran hard down the stretch, in my opinion. So now we go to the Perryville at Keeneland, where it's like, well, what are we doing here? He's back in a grade 3 race. It's at Keeneland. Captain Cook's in the race. Owen Almighty's in the race. It's pretty tough for a grade 3 race. He only wins by 8 1/4 and in just ultra impressive fashion. I have no idea who this horse is. At his best, he's very good. At his worst, he's really bad. He kind of reminds you of Fierceness. He's just not as talked about because he's not running in those huge races. I don't know what he's going to do here, but I'm telling you, this horse has a lot of talent. That the Perryville was a very good race. That Alan Jerkin still really impressed me. I went back and watched the San Felipe and the San Vicente. He was pretty impressive in both those races. And look, knowing what we know now, that he looks like a 6 furlong, 7 furlong, maybe a mile type of horse, I think he just got tired in the San Felipe. I think if that race was a mile, he may have won it. So he's serious. How serious? We're going to find out in this one. And will he show up with his best effort? All right, one more to go. The number 10, Goal Oriented. Another one that this is interesting. You know, he has one race going, one turn, and that was the debut race here at Santa Anita. He was awesome in that one. He had a 91 Beyer speed figure, 3 1/4 length victory. Of course, backed that up with a nice win at Churchill Downs going 2 turns. That was on Kentucky Derby Day on the undercard, won by 3/4 of a length. Threw him right into the Preakness where, he's fourth, beating 6 3/4. He got the worst of that bumping with journalism. That was a mess. Ran great in the Haskell. I thought the next start, I should say, 3/4 length loss there with the Pennsylvania Derby, and I didn't think ran all that well. And then he didn't run very well in the Breeders' Cup at Dirt Mile at all. Pennsylvania Derby was much better than that. Now you're cutting him back. You get Rosario aboard, which nothing against Rosario, but that doesn't seem to be the top chalk that Baffert would go to here. I think, coming from off the pace is going to help him because I do think there's a lot of speed. I just got some question marks on him going this distance. I kind of think he's kind of one of those where he's in the middle. Like, he's not really a star, but you can't really drop him because he doesn't belong in an allowance race. So where do you kind of run him? I think it's a good spot for him. I don't know. I think he might be more of the Matticat Road type where play him underneath, maybe not play him on top. All right, that is a field of 10. I went on and on about it a little bit because there's some very interesting horses in here. I'm going to roll with the number 9 Barnes to win this race. I just think 7 furlongs is his best distance. I think he's the best horse at the distance. I think he's the most versatile where if there is no pace, which I just can't see it, he can go take to the front, but he really, I think, has ran some of his better races coming from a little bit off of the pace, not 13 lengths and like the Gallup Bob, but get back a little bit off the pace like he did in the Alan Jerkins. That kind of trip, I think, would be just fine. So I'm going to go number 9 Barnes. I think he is the most talented horse in the race. I just don't know if you're going to get it out of him race after race. So that'll be the big question mark. So we'll go with him and we'll take our chances with that Bob Baffert runner. All right, guys, that'll do it for this preview. Hit that like button if you like it. Subscribe if you really like it. Want to get alerted anytime we do videos like this. And most importantly, good luck if you're betting Santa Anita on Sunday.